Welcome back to another video of Server Administering series. Make sure to give a like and subscribe my channel to help me grow. In this video, we're going to discuss delegation of rights within Active Directory. Understand that the ability to delegate rights in a large organization is critical. Why? Because, more than likely, you will not be managing a large domain all by yourself. Most likely, there will be several administrative users who will be responsible for managing certain aspects of the domain, or even certain sites within the domain. Here's the quandary. These administrative users need admin-level access to perform these tasks by default. So one option would be to make these users members of your domain administrators group, right? That would work. They would have the rights necessary to administer whatever it is that you want them to work on. But do you really want to give all of your admin users complete and unfettered access to the entire domain? Probably not. This violates the principle of least privilege. The idea behind the principle of least privilege is that a given user, including your admin users, should have the network access necessary for them to complete whatever job role it is that they have, but no more. Ideally, all the administrative users in your domain should have the rights they need to complete their day-to-day administrative tasks as required by their job role, but no more access. As you can see, just making all of your domain users members of the administrators group completely blows the principle of least privilege right out of the water. A better option is to use the delegation of control wizard within Active Directory to grant your administrative users whatever rights it is that they need to perform the work inside of the domain without giving them too many rights. In this example, we have an organization that has 3 different sites. We have Los Angeles, we have Hyderabad, and we have Bangalore. Each site has its own OU inside of AD. All of the network resources associated with each site are stored within the appropriate OU in the domain. Also, notice that I have 3 administrators, each assigned to each of these sites. I have an administrator for Los Angeles, I have an administrator for Hyderabad, and I have an administrator for Bangalore. In this scenario, we want these administrators to just be able to manage the domain within their location. For example, we want this user to be able to manage all of the resources located in the LA organizational unit. We want this user to be able to manage all the resources in the Rio OU, and this administrative user to manage all the resources in the NYC OU. What we do not want these users to be able to do is get into the other OUs. To make this happen, what we could do is use the delegation of control wizard to grant each administrator the rights to manage everything within their OU, but not in the others. I could take, for example, the LA administrator and grant them rights using delegation of control to just LA, the same with the Hyderabad administrator, and the same with the Bangalore administrator, effectively isolating what they can do to just their OU. Preventing, say, an administrator down here in Hyderabad from being able to perform administrative tasks in Bangalore or LA. We don't want that. We want the Hyderabad administrator take care of Hyderabad and nothing else. As you can see, we use the delegation of control wizard to create a specialized admin user. Be aware that there are other ways to use the delegation of control wizard. In this example, we use the delegation of control wizard to create, basically, what we call a container administrator. We are allowing these individual users to manage their container, all aspects of their container, in the domain. We could do in a different way, however. We could also use the delegation of control wizard to create role admins instead of container admins. A role admin, instead of managing a container, manages one particular aspect of the domain. An example would be a password admin. We could create an administrative user and use the delegation of control wizard to allow this user to just manage user passwords in all 3 OUs in the domain. They can't do anything else, they can only manage passwords. But they can do it in whatever container they want in the domain. You can do the same thing to create, say, a backup admin and or a restore admin. These users would just be allowed to run backups or perform restores, and they could be allowed to do so in just one container or all the containers in the domain. It's important to note that you can actually mix the 2 different types of admins together when you use the delegation of control wizard. For example, we could create a password administrator and just allow that password administrator to manage passwords in 1 or 2 particular OUs in the domain. That's it for this video. In this video, we discussed how to use the delegation of control wizard to grant admin users the rights they need to manage your domain without granting them too many rights. We will see how we can do that in delegation of control wizard in the next video in the series.